Hello everyone. I'm sitting here in the back garden, late afternoon, and I thought I'll go and record some bits and pieces to fill in something new I've been working on. Oh, somebody out for a wander. And I'm just sitting here having a blather. Oh, first of all, introductions. My name's John Glenn, known in the knitting world as Beardychiel, and you will find me as Beardychiel on Facebook, Ravelry, Twitter, Instagram, here on YouTube and on Ravelry. You will find me on email at beardychiel@gmail.com, and all of those things will have been rattling down the side of the shot while I'm blethering to you. The sun is absolutely gorgeous this afternoon, and I thought I've got a couple of odds and ends to chat about. Nothing major, but it's a lovely day to record, so I might as well get out in the sun and do a bit of recording. I've already been recording today, and that's the reason for coming and putting this bit together. Central heating's just kicked in, and of course we are filming about 10 feet from the boiler exhaust, so I'll apologise for the noise, you'll just have to put up with it. Now, in terms of the podcast, please like, subscribe, and remember to ring the bell notification icon, which is down here somewhere, so that you don't miss any episodes as they go live. The more people who like and subscribe, the better it is for me on YouTube, and I would love to be able to put my YouTube subscribers up to 2,000-3,000. I mean, I'm only about 1,400. In fact, no, I'm down about 1,150 at the moment, 1,140 something. I dropped a lot because I took a year off, my own silly fault, but please let your friends know that I'm back and that I'm podcasting, and I would love to hear from them. So yeah, please let the subscriber numbers go up. That would be absolutely wonderful. That's terrible, that's just greed on my part. I want to be greedy, I want to be famous, I want celebrity. Maybe it's not all it's cracked up to be. We'll see. So what have I been up to since I last chatted to you? Well, the last time I was sitting the other side of the table and you were staring at a white rough cast wall while I was combing fleece, and this time I'm sitting opposite you and you're looking across the garden towards the shed. The sun is glorious. I'm sitting here with my eyes closed sometimes behind these dark glasses because I could just nod off in the heat. Oh, it's Wednesday, it's Monday the 8th of June. So what have I been up to? Well, I've had some time with my two little friends, Ruben and Leo, yesterday because it was Leo's 4th birthday. So they came and picked up presents and played here in the garden, and we sat and chatted. It was a pleasant enough day, a bit overcast, nothing too dreadful, but it was great to see his face with his presents. What else did I do yesterday? Basically just some chill out knitting, a couple of bits of graphics for somebody who I'm helping out with a website, and that was basically that. So what have I been? Oh, I've been doing some pile of cooking. Had a wonderful time yesterday. Decided, Janet and I were talking, and we had some pork belly in the fridge, and we were talking about making crispy pork belly sio yuk. But the prep time for it, it's a long, slow prep to get it done to come out just right. I mean, you're talking about 12 to 24 hours prep time. So I decided to go for something different. I went for red braised pork belly, which the prep time's only about 30 minutes and the cooking time's just under 2 hours. And it was absolutely gorgeous last night. Just with some stir-fried veggies and some boiled rice, but really, really good. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Didn't do any bread making this weekend, which is unusual for me, but then my wife had ordered some sort of handcrafted bread from one of the local bakers on Friday, and they delivered straight to the house, so that was nice and easy. So I've been eating that over the weekend. Lovely loaf, something white seeded, bloomerish, called a Sir Henry. Don't know where it got its name, but it's been quite good fun. Janet's just finished work and we're sitting waiting for the chicken for tonight's dinner to come out of the ovens. Everything else is done. And what have I been knitting? Well, I've been knitting working on 3 projects. One project you'll see in the middle of the bit that's coming next, called Chat with Beardychiel, and the other 2 are sitting here in front of me. The first one is this one, and it's another Katie's Cap Shetland Wool Week 2020 pattern. I enjoyed knitting the first one so much I thought let's make a start on the second one, and here it is. Some of the colours that I had in stock are in stash, and it's going to come out looking just fine. A sort of brown and blue background, absolutely super. 3 or 4 rows at a time, and then a little break from it. I have to say, working with Jameson's is nice. Their yarns, their spindrift is definitely nice to work with. The thing that I've paired it with is actually from King Craig Fabrics in Brora, and it's really nice as well. It's just a wee bit lighter than the spindrift, but when you put them together it's working well. And the other thing I've been working on is the start of a pair of kilt hose, of all things. Yeah, I know. I mean, look, I've got 6 inches of leg done, so there's another 18 inches of leg to go, and then the cuff for folding. And I've just taken the pattern from 4 and 2 up to 5 and 2 because I have really chunky calves, and for me to get my on, that'll be fine for the ankle, but as I work up the calf I need that little bit extra space. So 5 by 2 and just 4 by 2 on the instep, and a plain stocking stitch sole, German short row heel, cast on at the toe. And I have to say, this is kid mohair, and just natural, 100% kid mohair. This again came from King Craig Fabrics, and I've got lots of it. I put it into the sweater that I was working on, which you saw last time, which is now completely finished. I never thought I should have brought it out and you could have a look at it. Maybe I've got photographs of it finished somewhere. I can't remember if I took some or if I planned to take some. You know something, I'm getting quite dawdled as I get older. Anyway, this has been quite good fun. I've enjoyed this. This is quite nice to work with. It's got a lovely spring to it, and allowing for my sort of size 9.5 to 10 feet, which takes a fair bit of working on. It looks nice, and I did knit a little sample for myself and washed it, and this still has a little bit of oil in it from manufacturing. It's also still a wee bit goaty the way it smells, but when it washes up, oh my god, it's gorgeous. So I'm looking forward to this. These are a prototype for a project, a commission that I said I would do for a friend who's a folk musician, spends a lot of time in his kilt, so I said I would come up with a sock design for him. And the other pair of socks is the brioche socks that was knitting for Leo, and you'll see them in a little while. I decided to introduce a new section to the podcast. I'd been thinking about this ages ago, and I decided I would create a chat with Beardychiel section. And because we're in lockdown, I've been chatting to folk on Instagram and Facebook and saying, how are you for time? Do you fancy spending 20 minutes, half an hour together just blethering for putting in the podcast? Sort of simple interviews and things. And the feedback has been wonderful from people. So I recorded the first one this afternoon, and it was with Sylvia Watts-Cherry, known as Cherries on Top on... Oh, where is she? She's Cherries on Top on Facebook and on Twitter. She's Cherries on Top 2 on Instagram, I think, if I'm remembering rightly. She's absolutely lovely. We've been chatting together for several years, meeting at festivals and things, and she's a really interesting designer. So I messaged Sylvia. Sylvia had messaged me to say, why haven't you been podcasting? You know, it's been ages since I last saw one, and she was the one who helped me get my mojo back. So I asked her if she would be the first person to be interviewed or chatted with, and she said she would love to. So without any messing around, I'm going to transfer you from me over to me and Sylvia, blethering away like budgies. Now, we planned to do 5 to 10 minutes, and we ended up doing absolutely ages, so I think you're getting more than half an hour, which is going to make this quite a long video, and I apologise for that. Because I said I was going to cut them down, but hey, when you're filming in little bits, this sometimes happens. So enjoy chat with Beardychiel, and I'll see you afterwards. Cheery bye. Hello Sylvia, how are you?
I'm very well. Hi John. Hi.
I'm delighted to be with you today, and I'm so glad that you agreed to come and chat to me. Some of the podcasters may recognise you because a lot of them go to the same festivals that we go to.
Yeah.
For those who don't, this is Sylvia Watts-Cherry, who is a knitter and designer and part Scots, part English, part Nigerian, I think.
It is Nigerian, yes.
Yeah, I find I'm trying to remember as I go that. But you have had some interesting design work. You've had a pile of stuff published in magazines.
Yeah.
You had a stint on Kirsty's Handmade Christmas.
I did. That's where it all started.
And I have to say, I find your design work absolutely wonderful. Your use of colour is really inspiring. And
Thanks.
I have a photograph stored somewhere that I've stolen from Ravelry of your Nubian princess pullover.
Oh, I've got the original right here.
Oh, you devil. I was hoping you would say that.
Here it is. I was showing it yesterday. So here we go. So that's the original.
It's just wonderful.
And the back. So this was actually supposed to be a jumper, and it started off as a jumper. Then I realized that I wouldn't wear a jumper for long because I love knitting, but I get hot. So I thought, right, I'm going to turn it into a cardigan. And I remember thinking, oh, but the picture's going to get cut if I'm wearing it as a cardigan. So ended up putting the picture at the back.
As well.
Yes. And then...
It's a stunning image.
Thank you.
And the colours, it's just so... it's such a traditional image of the sort of ladies who I would see occasionally in Glasgow. Yeah. And Glasgow had a small sort of Nigerian community. And you would see these amazingly elegant ladies with their head wraps.
Yes.
And you thought, wow, how did they keep those on?
With determination. Well, the picture, it's actually started off, last year there was a lot of talk about the diversity.
Yes.
Which, it was an important discussion, of course. But for me, it was really a time of I was looking for my identity, or trying to reconcile my identity, because I was born in Nigeria, but I was brought up in Aberdeen. But I've lived most of my life in England. So when people ask the question, where are you from? I found that difficult to answer. I think for me, I feel more Scottish because I was brought up in Aberdeen. My formative years are really in Aberdeen, but I'm definitely Nigerian. So all the talk about diversity, what that caused me to do was actually search within myself to identify or to work out what I felt. And then I realized really from the work I was doing that I was quite drawn to colors which were not necessarily traditionally British. I was I'd see all these bright clashing colors and be going, whoa, that's me. So I'd wear all the colors. And they made me happy. I wore colors that made me happy. And also the designs that I was wanting to make were not, I love my cables. And I guess that I feel I drew from sort of Scottish, sort of traditional knitting, but the Fair Isle I never really got into. I didn't feel connected to it.
And you've done some lace work as well, I seem to
remember. Yes, I have done some. So when I was thinking about things, I started researching African fabrics and African designs, artifacts from indigenous African tribes. And I just kept looking and thinking, they could actually transfer to knitwear, and then I can feel like I knit. And so these sort of started to be drawn, and I just didn't think, I wasn't doing it for commercial reason. I was just doing it because this was something that I felt very connected to.
Yeah.
And so when the Nubian Queen hit went viral, it took me a lot by surprise and shock. And I didn't actually do anything for 2 months because I was so overwhelmed.
Wow.
With just the attention. I didn't realize there was any significance to what I was doing. Like for me, knitting is just something I do. I don't think of myself as a designer. In fact, when someone says you're a designer, I just sort of think, who are they talking to? Because to me, knitting is something I do. I didn't go to any fashion school or anything.
No, I'm the same.
Yeah, so you just knit. I knit because I enjoy it. It keeps me calm. Otherwise, I mean, you can't see me, but I'm holding my hands together because otherwise I'll be doing something.
I think it's an age-related thing as well.
It could be. Or else I'm tapping my feet as well because I'd rather be going out running around doing something else. So while I'm knitting, I just reflect and relax, and it's just lovely. So yeah, the Nubian Queen was a thing that I think maybe it just struck a chord, just came at the right time when people were questioning. But for me, I just feel that what I'd like to do is to include part of my heritage, which is something I was born with, and I feel is important to include part of it in what I do. So I look for ways of adding designs, designs that can be used by anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So, like the Fair Isles, everybody knits Fair Isle, everybody knits stranded work from the Scandinavia. Nobody thinks, oh, I can't knit with it. So I thought there must be ways of connecting African type work into designs where it's universal and nobody thinks, oh, it's African or it's British, it's whatever. It's just knitting and a stitch pattern. So yeah,
I mean, that's just the sort of, and the intarsia type work that you've designed.
Old school.
But it is in itself so traditional.
It is.
It's the way you've merged that, and I'm looking over your shoulder.
Well, this one.
Number one, the birdie, but on the other side,
this one. Yes.
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 And I'm thinking that the colours there and the patterns are so reminiscent of some of the sort of stitch work you would see in Sanker gloves
Yes.
in the south of Scotland and
Yes.
things. But it's obviously from a different part of the world.
Yes. And so there are universal things which connect us all together.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, when we're looking at a world where people are trying to find differences and dislike because this person's that or that, when you sit back and look, you can actually find more to connect us all together.
There are more similarities.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's really, really true. Oh, next door's dog having a run around the garden.
Maybe it disagreed with what I just said.
Ollie disagrees with the postman and with whoever delivers the fuel oil. He disagrees with everyone. So, what are you knitting at the moment?
Well, I've got I've got 3 projects I'm working on that are sort of secrets. With publications, you can't show too much.
You can't, of course. Those are sort of...
Yeah.
But is there anything you're working on just for you at the moment?
Just for me. What am I working on? Well, the crochet. I'm just using all the colours that I can find.
Yes!
So it's
wonderful.
So that's for me.
Sylvia's granny square.
Yes. I thought, am I going to do something? I'm going to join. No, I've got enough with the knitting. What else am I working on? Oh, well, I've got an extension of, well, not this one. Can't show this one yet, but, oh gosh, there's so many things I can't show. Well, this one here is something I'm playing with at the moment. So it's another bit of intarsia, and it's a bird from a design from an African pattern. So
it looks as if you could have been drawn in wax on a piece of batik or something. Yes,
yeah, it comes from the mud cloths. From which tribe does the mud cloths? Is it? I can't remember what part of Africa it is, but it came from their designs. It's all black and white, but I just like the colour of the beat just to give it that something. Most of the work I'm doing at the moment are sort of designs for publications, sort of deadline knitting. So, but I always have socks on the go. So I'm working on some plain socks, just the colours, showing off the colours. So
I've got some plain, natural white socks on the go because someone gave me a kilo of kid mohair.
Oh, wow.
And it's lovely. And because mohair is so hard wearing,
yes,
it doesn't have to be mixed with anything. It should make reasonably good socks. Yeah. So I've started knitting a set of kilt hose.
Okay.
God help me. It's the foot's done, and there's about 4 inches of leg done, but it's the fact that there's another 23 inches of leg to go.
Oh my gosh. Well, you're a prolific knitter yourself. You're always, I mean, I just look in awe at some of the work that you're producing. I'm such a slow knitter compared to...
And the most recent pattern to come back from test knitters was the brioche tam o'shanter.
Oh, yes.
And I've decided that it's going to be published free of charge.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to put it out as a sort of a lockdown pattern.
Okay.
Just to give people something else to do, in the hope that those who are maybe in the position where they can't invest in a pattern get something to work on.
Yeah.
And those who do have the ability to invest will take it and maybe pay it forward by making a donation to a lockdown charity or a food bank or something really positive.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. If you can do that, that's wonderful.
So I'll let you know. It's back from test knitting. I'm doing the last edits. And hopefully in about a week's time it'll be ready to go live and go out to the world.
Oh, brilliant. Well done.
But no, I've got socks on the go. This pair of socks has been on the go for a while. I need to get it finished in the next week or so. This is for grandson number 3. This is for
Okay.
Leo.
Oh, look at that.
And it's a normal base, a normal vanilla sock bottom, a brioche leg, because they wanted long leg socks. So
I love the colours.
that's them. Oh, listen, I said to them, what colour do you want? And they said, we will go and look. So they ran off into my stash and came back with this skein from Mothy and the Squid.
Oh, she's good, isn't she? I love that.
They know how to pick their colours. It's
Yeah,
autumn rainbow or something it's called. And yeah, they know their sock yarns. There's the finished one.
Oh.
I'm on sock number 2, luckily, and the way those colours just match with the teal, and the teal that's in the leg is actually some alpaca.
Gosh,
and wool blend, which I had sitting. And again, colours chosen by the little ones themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if kids are willing to pick things,
well,
they're more likely to wear them.
Of course, because then they've had a hand in choosing it and making it, haven't they? So no.
And they're at the stage, they're little enough that you have to make it within a fixed deadline, otherwise they're going to grow out of it.
Yeah. And they don't understand that it takes time.
No.
And sometimes it would be nice to stop them growing. Just stand there and wait another year, and then you can grow.
I know. So now, like you, prolific knitting. I've been doing some knitting from patterns because I've been knitting. Sadly, this year's Shetland Wool Week has had to be cancelled.
Oh.
So they're going to try and create something virtual, I think, because one of my regular class attendees lives in Shetland. And she joins us on Zoom for knitting classes. And she had said the new Shetland Wool Week hat pattern called Katie's Kit has been released. And she and her mother were both knitting it. So I thought, haven't knitted stranded work for ages, let's do one. So I knitted one. And I've got so much yarn left over because I bought it at Jameson's when I was there last year. I've started a second one. Just for fun. And it's the sort of thing you do 4 or 5 rows and you put it away for the day and you do something else. Do you find that you have to swap between projects to avoid them becoming tedious at times?
I'm not very good at doing that. I wish I was, because I should be doing that right this minute, but I'm not very good. I like to work and I like to complete something. I like to have that sense of achievement. And so all this knitting 2 socks in one go, I can't do that. I'd like to just knit one thing, finish it, have a breather, and then move on. So I think and as I've got older, it's more and more like that. Before I juggle around, and I'm not sure whether it's because you have to when you're younger, you don't have the choice. But now I tend to do things sequential, one by one, and then move on to the next thing. And because for me, each thing is so different, it's like pattern writing.
Yeah.
I have to do all the number crunching, then I start to knit. And, like people keep saying, why don't you write the pattern as you knit? I said, I can't, because I need different parts of my brain to do it.
I can do bits of it. I can jot down notes.
Yes, I do that.
Prototype, yes. And then I'll reverse engineer it to write the pattern.
Yes, yeah. So that's what I'm like. So I can't do things. I can't have multiple projects on the go. I can think about them, but I can't. I just wish I could. I wish I could, but I can't. I enjoy, as I said, I'm an emotional knitter, and I knit because of enjoyment. So to think of it as a process is not something I want to do. So each project gets all my time on it, spent on it.
Before we started recording this afternoon, we had a good half hour just sitting chatting.
Yeah.
So one of the questions that I would ask you is through this dreadful period of lockdown, as some people see, you and I are seeing positives in it as well.
Yes, yeah.
How has knitting helped to cope with the stresses and strains that have come as part of lockdown for you?
Oh, wow. Well, if I knit every day. I'm knitting every day for a long stretches of time. So if I wasn't doing that, I'd probably go mad. I mean, knitting is my form of therapy. That and walking. So when the lockdown was at its worst, we were only allowed one exercise a day. So only going out for that. So once I'd done that in the morning, I would have had long stretches of the day to fill in with nothing. So for me, knitting's been a bit of a lifesaver. So, but what I've found is that my creativity hasn't necessarily been there. So it's been quite functional knitting. So I've chosen to knit things like the socks where it's mindless. So perhaps there was some sort of stress about having the lockdown and the worry. Maybe not necessarily the lockdown, but the worries about all the people getting ill and dying and worrying about your kids who are going to be in contact with others. So I sought calmness through knitting, plain knitting, and not thinking, things that didn't involve too much thinking. But the actual creative work of designing has been difficult because I've had to move a few things out of my head. I think I've said earlier, I feel my style of designing or knitting is emotional. Mm-hmm. I pour quite a lot of emotion into designs. It doesn't just happen. It's something that I've really sat with for a while and mulled it over, thought it out, gone for lots of walks while I've been thinking about it. So it's a journey. I can map out a journey through what I design and what I knit. So knitting has been just everything, really. It's very calming.
Like you, I'm the same. I knit every day, and it just, no matter what else you have going in the background, I know that if I move away from a PC, I'm finding concentrating on IT-based things a nightmare at the moment. An hour, 2 hours, and I want to walk away from manipulating bits of graphics or writing sections of pattern, because I don't know what it is. My brain just needs to chill out. And as we were saying when we chatted on Instagram a while back, I had avoided IT so much that I hadn't actually put up a podcast in almost a year.
Yeah.
Which is strange because I had filmed. There's a film recorded from Perth Festival of Yarn last year, from Loch Ness Knit Fest, from Shetland Wool Week. Yeah. And the files are all sitting on my hard drive. Yeah. But the sort of the urge to put them together into some cognizant entity had just gone. And I don't know why it went. And you talking to me about it, saying this is strange for you.
Yes, I know.
And you've actually caused a rebirth, so thank you.
I know, because I'm thinking, I've got a load of people I watch, and I think, I haven't seen anything from John. And then I thought, is he all right? So then I flicked through your Instagram. I thought, no, he's still putting stuff up. I thought, no, I don't know what's wrong. But I guess it's one of those things that I think for a while there was so much going on, so much happening, that I think so many people found themselves being pulled away from what they'd been doing for a long time. Maybe some enjoyment went. But yeah, I was just thinking, John was putting stuff out. Why is he not doing that? So yes.
No, I mean, I've gone back. I did change my format because I thought I'm not doing this hour or hour and a half stint that I used to do. I'm going to try and keep it to 20 to 30 minutes.
Yes.
It's more watchable. It's more
It's
useful.
doable. It's more doable. There's no, the editing must be a lot less.
It is. And to be honest, if I have a chat like this with you, that'll give me 15, 20 minutes. So a little bit in the beginning, a little bit in the end, a conversation in the middle. We'll make a podcast.
Yes.
And that's fine. People will enjoy that because they see me chatting.
Yes.
But I think it's important that they see me chatting to other people who are knitting as well.
Yeah.
Later this week, I've got another one to record. I'm going to record one with Eva Christie.
Oh.
Because she's taken the decision that Perth's going to have to be virtual this year.
Yeah. Oh, that's a shame.
Which is sad. As we were saying, we've lost all of our festivals this year. So I'll catch up with her on Wednesday and have a chat like this. And here, hopefully, she'll be able to tell us some of the plans that she has for this year.
Oh, good.
And for next year, because I know she's got provisional dates for 2021 already on her calendar.
Yeah.
But
I know, because you worry about, she was one that I knew, because I thought she does this event, and it's a really big event once a year. But you don't want to contact people because you think, oh, you might be a nuisance. But I did wonder.
Yeah, she is effectively a one-person company.
Yeah.
It's her. And that's what she does for the entire year. So it's... I tell you, I wouldn't want the stress of doing something like that.
Oh, gosh. I'd never, ever.
I like doing helping in the background bits. That's much more fun.
I like visiting them. I don't want the thought of running.
My manager doesn't.
No.
Now, what is the worst thing for you when you're wandering around a festival? Is it specific breeds or just the range of colours?
Oh, it's the colours, because I'm just overwhelmed. I actually, what happens, I think, right, I'm going to go around everything and then I'll make a decision. And I can't decide because I want everything. So once I want everything, I end up buying very little because I think, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to buy. But otherwise, I would buy everything at the first place I saw. And then that's it. That would be it. So for me, I get overwhelmed by the amount of yarn and the vibrancy of colors. And I love touching them, which you can't do at the moment with the virus. But for me, it's the colors. I walk in and I just see the colors, and it's all or nothing. If I buy, I'll buy everything, or I get so overwhelmed I just walk away. But I love the festivals that are more than one day.
Yes. Because
then what happens is you have time to come back and think, right, I've seen everything. Tomorrow I will buy. The danger is that you might lose out on some things, but
there are things which stick in your head from day one, and you think, I'm going to go back and look at that again.
Yes.
Because I didn't get a chance to squidge it properly.
Yeah. Now, half the fun of going to the festival for me is that I get to catch up with people. Mm-hmm. So if it's just a 1 day or 2 day event, sometimes I don't actually get to do the yarn because I'm so busy catching up with people that you only meet virtually, and they sort of become friends. So you want to know how they're getting on and what they're doing. So I do enjoy the multiple day events because it just gives me that chance to support them, support the vendors, but also to really catch up with your friends. So
that's just it. I mean, at Perth last year, the dinner and the fashion show between days was hilarious fun.
Yeah. Yes,
it was really, and it was a great chance, as you say, to flip from table to table and sit and chat. And what I found really funny was the people who are there as couples, like yourself, me. Yeah. You see the yarn widower or widow For me, Janet's left sitting in a corner, your hubby's left sitting in a corner.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at Perth, I said to John, now, I'm going to get tickets. Do you want to come? He said, yes. So I got him tickets for every day. And he walked, there were a few of us staying in our hotel, so we all went together. He got to the door and says, right, that's it. I'll see you later. But I paid. He says, I'm not going in there. I've done enough talking about it, walking. He said, just tell me what time you're going home. I'll come back and I'll carry the stuff back for you. But no, he's actually quite good, but he's quite patient. But
how many years has it taken to train him like that?
35 years. So, but no, he's quite patient. But I mean, he has said once he's been to the place, he says, I'm not coming back. Because he says, I've done all the sightseeing, so there's nothing for me to do. But yeah.
It is wonderful. I mean, the atmosphere at these events is what always surprises me.
Yeah.
You go and something goes wrong, a piece of a stand collapses, happened to me last year.
Uh-huh.
And instantly there's about 10 stall holders saying, right, can we help you to put that together again?
Yeah.
You know, although we're all there in competition with one another,
yes,
everybody wants one another to succeed.
I think
atmosphere.
I know. I think that's the thing, you know, there is a camaraderie that happens and you think, whoa, it's quite an unusual, it is a very unusual industry.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've not been in it, it's hard to come in and have a look at it. It's not like normal businesses.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really apply the same rules. And people genuinely, you know, in the main, most people genuinely want each other to succeed. And it's become quite obvious, more so during the lockdown, how there's been lots of virtual festivals going on and people have really supported them. And people are coming together that would normally be competitors to help each other set things up.
Yes.
So it's been nice to see. But generally, I think, you know, you see the dyers who are selling their stuff and you look and you think, well, you're quite close to each other in terms of colors and the bases you're using. But they support each other and they'll say, well, you know, go and look at such and such's stall because it might suit you better, or they've got this and that. And
I mean, I've seen that myself. People saying, someone sent me over to see you because all your stuff is naturals, straight. It's undyed. What have you got? Because, as you know, I very seldom dye, and the things that I sell is Caithness Croft. So, it is.
It's unusual.
It's an unusual.
Yes.
Just
we'll leave it to unusual.
Well, listen, I'm conscious that I'm taking up a lot of your afternoon.
Oh, yeah. It's nice chatting.
Absolutely hilarious sitting chatting. So, from a sort of knitting point of view, what would you have as your sort of knitting hope for the coming 12 months?
Well, I have a project I'm working on, which is a book, which I sort of mentioned in another podcast, but it involves a few more people. It's like a form of celebration. So I'm not yet able to give too much information yet, but at the moment we're doing all the contracts with the publishers and getting the contributors to send and do the contracts. But that is really sort of my biggest project from now for the next 9 months.
Oh wow!
And then I've got a few publications that I've been asked to contribute something to. So those are I'm working on. But what I'd really love to do from the new year is to take a few months off just to play. Mm-hmm. I love playing with yarn and trying to come up with ideas. it's a little bit stressful when you're working on for deadlines. So I'd like to just take time out to come up, play with a few ideas that I have, new techniques, see what comes of it. Not necessarily with a plan to make anything, but just hone in. I don't get enough chance to play, and I love playing with yarn.
Playing with swatches, playing with colours, playing with textures.
Yes.
I know what you mean.
Yes.
I know what you mean. And sometimes the inspiration comes from the strangest place.
Yes.
It might be from a piece of yarn that you pick up.
Yeah.
Or it might be from something you see somewhere.
Well, that's what I was saying to somebody a few weeks ago. When people know you design, some people will ask if you would do something with their yarn. And what I prefer is for them to leave me with the yarn so I can just feel it and see what comes out of it. Mm-hmm. If somebody puts a pressure on me or deadline, I find that pressure and nothing comes. Or I'll come up with something just because I have to have something, and it's not particularly creative. So I do like the thought of maybe what I could do, I could have done is maybe to give myself one day a week just to play. That might have been an option, but taking on deadlines has meant that I don't give myself that. Also, because I do tutoring still, I'm still tutoring. So a couple of days a week I'm teaching kids, so I don't have those days. But yeah, for the next 12 months, I'm envisaging, hopefully we'll have a book out. I'm working with somebody else as well, and a few more patterns. And there you go. That's it.
Well, I'm awaiting. I've been told that the mill who normally process yarn for me, I had delivered fleece to them in March, and they started production again last week. They emailed me to say, we're working on your stuff. Hopefully you'll have it all back at the end of the month. But there's some brand new yarn blends coming back. So
is it still the same yarn, John? Where do you get your yarn from? Your fleece from?
The fleeces are fleeces which I collect from crofts and farms around Caithness who are going to be burying or burning because they can't get a financial return on them.
Yeah.
And we come to an agreement. Some of them just want them physically removed to let them have space back. Some of them, they'll say, no, just take them and get them to hell out of the way. Yes. And I'll say, no, that's not fair. I'll invest in the processing, and hopefully we'll sell it. And if I can make a profit on it, can I share it with you?
Yes.
And it's really weird. I have one farm where it's the son who's the farmer, and his parents live in the farmhouse, and his mother says, well, when it comes back, can I come and have 2 sweaters worth of yarn? That's all I want. And she comes and she goes through whatever I have.
Yeah.
And I said, it doesn't have to be what's come from your farm. Anything that's here, if you want, a sweater's worth, just say.
Yeah.
And she does. She's lovely. Yes. Somebody else will say, well, or drop me a bottle of something to drink.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a funny community up here. But because I would rather see that happen than it be buried or burned, it's quite good. So what's coming back, there's some cheviot, some charolais, there was some alpaca, and there's some Shetland as well. So I've got a new sock yarn coming back, which is going to be a blend of Shetland and mohair.
Okay.
So it'll be coming back undyed. So it's a complete natural. It can go to folk and they can do whatever they want with it.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to having the cones back in my hand, actually, as you said, to play with it.
Yes.
Because hopefully when you do that, you get inspired to turn it into a garment, because people who come to festivals and things, they want to feel it knitted up.
They do.
You know, they want to know what's it going to feel like? What's it going to look like?
Yeah. And how will it wear?
That's it. And I like when I get to that stage to make up sample skeins, sort of 50-gram skeins, and to folk like yourself and a pile of other knitters, I'll stick it in the post of a note that says, "Play with this and tell me what you think."
Yes.
You know, it's never going to be published anywhere. It's just people knit it up, and they sometimes get an email back saying that was rough as rough as can be. Lovely for the outside of a hat, lovely for a pair of gloves. Wouldn't put it anywhere near my neck. You know, or you get so soft, so downy, do anything with it. It's surprising.
Yeah, but that helps you to get knowledge about the yarn that you're passing on to others, because it's the connection. You know, this will give me this, and that you use to help people choose the best yarn.
Yeah. Absolutely funny. One of the people who joins us at the online classes that I do on a Tuesday and a Thursday evening is the owner of a local yarn store in Aberdeen. Faye from Wool for You in Aberdeen comes and knits with us.
Yes.
And it's really, really funny because she came on last week and she said, "Do you remember last year at Perth, I bought 4 skeins of your black yarn?" I said, "Yes." She said, "Well, I went to start the sweater and I've lost one." I found 3. I don't know where the 4th one has gone.
Oh my God.
Is there any left? And there was some left. I said, "Right, okay, while you lot are chatting, I'll go. I know where the box is with the 4-ply in it." And there were about 6 skeins left, luckily. So that went off in the post to her. And she said to me, "What do I owe you?" I said, "Well, just leave it for a couple of months. If you find the one that's missing,
then that's it.
Send it back.
Yes. If
not, you can pay for it eventually."
Yes.
And she said, "Well, that's fine. Or if Janet wants anything from the shop, just tell me and I'll post it up to her." Oh, whoops. No, I didn't tell you that bit.
Well, you've got it on record. You can't take it back.
Well, we have been blethering for almost an hour. And I planned for 20 minutes.
Wow.
Listen, Sylvia, thank you so much for giving up your time to chat to me today.
Thank you for inviting me, John.
It's been wonderful fun.
Yes.
We'll do it again, but we'll leave it a few months.
I think so.
And hopefully we'll build up some more works in progress and things to show one another.
Yes. Then I'll have stuff I can show, hopefully. If I get through June, I'll have stuff to show.
We will get there. We will all get there. I'm absolutely sure we will. I will give you a phone. I'll give you a phone, or I'll drop you an email to let you know when this one's going live.
Real.
So that you can be ready for it. And I'm going to say thank you very much. I'm going to stop recording.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Welcome back, folks. So that was me blethering away to Sylvia. You think we could put the entire world to rights? We're roughly the same age. Our kids are about the same age, about 30ish. We've both been married for 30 plus years. And strangely enough, her husband happens to be called John. What can I say? Sylvia was a dream to interview. She just has such a wonderful outlook on life. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Hope you had fun too. And that's all we're putting into this particular episode. So I'm going to sign off now, go and get the dinner out of the oven, see if it's cooked, and I look forward to catching up with you again in a couple of weeks' time. The next interview is going to be Eva Christie from Perth Festival of Yarn, and I'll post what I record with Eva next week or the following week. and we'll get caught up again a little then, folks. It's been an absolute pleasure being back here in front of you again. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and this sun is just glorious in Thurso today. Oh, I wish I was in the Costa del Sol or the Costa Brava or in Greece in sunlight like this, sitting with an iced coffee or an ouzo, just waiting for the evening to pass to go into dinner. Oh, it would be wonderful. But hey, I'm not. I'm here in Caithness, and I'm just going to have to make do with chicken, cauliflower and cheese sauce and boiled patties, which will be fine. So remember, if you've enjoyed your visit with us, like, subscribe and ring the bell notification icon which is floating around somewhere. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Until then, keep safe, keep well, keep knitting. Cheerio.